to the stage for a word of CLG's mid laner.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Great cast on the day. I am joined by CLG's Huhi, the man in the mid lane after their victory over Team Impulse, and a very clean victory at that. Coming into today, did you guys kind of think the team would gel and flow that well?
Wait, sorry?
Coming into the games today, did you feel that CLG would just gel and flow that well? Looking much better.
Gel and flow?
Did you guys would look better? Did you feel like you would cooperate as much?
We played like our style. Like we just talked about like how are we going to play before the game, and then execute that pretty well. So it was an okay game for us.
And kind of being a sub-squad last year, looking from the outside in, now being a part of it, there was always somewhat of a fall apart for CLG towards the middle of the season. They had a slump. Do you actually see that happening this year, or are you guys going to get over that?
Well, whenever we had a loss, like for example, last week, TSM and Immortals, like we were not like depressed at all. We just watched the game, and then we knew that we were like ahead in place, but we just messed up that play, and then we talked about how we are going to play better next time. So I don't think we're going to ever tilt, I guess, during the season.
It's a good thing to hear. I'm sure the fans are happy about that. Final question for you. Renegades look pretty good against Immortals this morning. You have them tomorrow. How do you guys feel about that matchup?
I think we're going to win, so yeah.
All right, easy peasy, easy, and see if they can do it tomorrow. Huhi, thank you very much for the interview. Congratulations on the win. Everybody, we're going to throw it to the analyst desk to break down some more of that game.
Thank you very much, Riv. Got Kobe and Zyrene on the desk, who I didn't intro after the last game. That's because we were so excited about the game itself.
Because everybody knows me, need no introduction.
Exactly right. Man who needs no introduction, Kobe. No, I'm kidding. Zyrene and Kobe on the desk. That game for CLG, pretty methodical after they secured an advantage with a big team fight in the bot lane. I actually want to pull that up right away. Let's take a look at that team fight. Corki packages on the board.
Yeah.
And Tip not respecting it here.
I mean, there is a big alarm that goes off, but we also need to do a PSA, I think, for don't try and overextend, don't try and make plays when the enemy has the package ready to be delivered, because Stixay picks it up. He's on the way this whole time when Fang got caught, and yet they still try and engage here and try and save Fang and turn this around into a teamfight victory. But man, the early roam from CLG, as well as Stixay coming in with the package, means, you know, he's got extra move speed. He can move into position even easier. Makes this a really easy cleanup. And that type of cleanup, that type of fight this early in the game just swings the game so heavily. Like, your mid game is very delicate, you know, lane swaps. Oh, we're trading this turret for that turret. Minion waves. We have to keep track of every minion I'm trying to get. And then you give a team fight like that. And
a 4-0.
That is devastating.
At 9 minutes.
And then if you try to go back to laning at that point, the other guy has a huge advantage. You don't have flash anymore.
The lanes are long because you can't even hide behind turrets. So the lane, you're gonna get picked off.
Nowhere safe after that point.
Yeah, very, very tough situation for TIP, just not respecting. And as you mentioned, there is that sound on the map. It's a global sound. You just have to be aware of it.
You also get a quick little sneak peek at which way it's going.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been baiting it now, though. You head top right when you pick it up. As soon as the vision wears off, then you go bottom.
You change directions, go bottom. Now, from that point, though, CLG, fairly methodical victory for them. We saw it was a pretty short game, 25 minutes, 28 seconds. You know, they played it smart. That's pretty much, you know, all there is to it. But Impulse definitely struggled given their composition. They have this Nocturne Lissandra. It felt as though they were pushing the engagements a little bit too much, trying to find their way back into the game.
Yeah, it got to the point where they seemed a little flustered and frustrated. They lost that fight, and then they kept trying to take fights over and over again, and CLG were already roaming there. I think CLG have been stepping up their roam game with Huhi in particular, because he used to just have to take TP on Lissandra to get to these fights, and now he's showing up to them a little bit earlier with his Zed and with his LeBlanc.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you don't have very many options when you're down like that. And what you want to do, we want to make this pick with Nocturne and Lissandra, but you have to have the numbers advantage. And CLG, I think it's a testament to CLG's team fighting, you know, and their map control. This is definitely a top team, CLG, at the top of the standings. They deserve their spot. They showed it here by not letting anyone get isolated like that. And they would always collapse, and they would always turn that team fight around.
Yeah, and I actually want to talk a little bit more about Huhi, because when he came into North America, he was on Fusion, and I just knew him as the guy that plays Zed LeBlanc, and he split pushes with LeBlanc and attacks turrets, right?
Right.
And then he's used to roaming back and forth between lanes. And I think that what CLG are doing now are allowing him to play the style that he himself loves playing. He's having a lot of fun with these champions. You can see that he's excelling with them. He's played 5 games of LeBlanc and Zed combined, and he's 23, 5, and 20. So he's really good on these assassin champions, and he still plays the map instead of tunneling on just one person and trying to kill them. So he's still a team fighter when he picks these up, and I think this is really good to see because now his style is just settling in on CLG, and he's not having to change the way he plays. Everybody's kind of adapting and figuring out where he fits in the roster.
Yeah, CLG is adopting a strategy that kind of caters to the strengths of their players. I want to now look at the draft by Team Impulse because although their strategy was ineffective in the game, I do feel that this was a fairly successful draft for Team Impulse. You immediately recognize, okay, Nidalee's picked up. The next 2 picks are Braum, Corki. We know that they're going to go for some kind of a poke siege composition. Well, what are the next few things that you see locked in? That Nocturne and Lissandra. So they were looking for that hard engage, the way that they could break a siege.
Yeah.
But that, 4 kills early means that it doesn't matter if it's an even fight, 3v3, 4v4, CLG has the power.
And I definitely do want to see more Nocturne. I think this is a champion that does have very real strengths that could be utilized right now when there is such a need for hard engage like this. I especially like him into stuff like Nidalee, where you want to close that gap really quickly. The only problem is, as you said, got behind. Also, it takes a lot of coordination to pull off those types of team comps. We've seen only a couple of teams be able to pull this stuff off, like Immortals. It takes that level of cohesion and that level of coordination to pull that off.
Yeah, and then I think Fang also on top of that, the gangplank in the top lane was a little bit underwhelming. I was looking for barrel plays.
Rather see Gate on it, huh? Switch him up there.
Oh my God.
the one champion, he's super confident in playing in the top lane.
That's true. We might switch him over one day and throw people off. But I think that the gangplank pick here was overall, it was okay, but I didn't like his performance on it. And the fact that it's that double lane swap where you just take turrets and then that early fight happened, like that was like 9 minutes in the game. He's not at a point where he has the cooldown on the barrels to actually throw multiple ones out and get it to a low HP and burst it. So he's very, very low on money at that point. And Poppy doesn't really need money to be effective in these fights that end up coming.
You campaigning for Seraph? Here? Seraph fanboy?
Yeah, he's got a team.
Secretly,
he's already got a team.
Bring him back.
Personal, he's Seraph's agent. I want to pop back to the Nocturne point for just a half a second because I want to talk about maybe the merits of why we might see him again or where he fits into, particularly given lane swap situations. Talking about just like his ability to create fights, his clear.
Yeah. So, the main thing everyone always points to is, oh, yes, he can hard engage from a long distance. He can apply pressure to standard lanes without having to go through wards or anything like that. But really, the game changer that Nocturne brings is the vision denial. And there are so many things that you can do with vision denial. There's so many mind games, like a Nocturne plus a Gangplank. Even the comp that they just had is amazing combination because you can pop the Nocturne ultimate and set up barrels in the fog of war that you just created. Like the other team can't even do anything about it. And you can set up these big barrel chains. As we saw, one big barrel chain will win you a whole game.
Yeah.
So it's worth using, a Nocturne ultimate to cover it in darkness.
Yeah. And
there's so many cool plays you can come up with when you have this champion.
Exactly. And people can't TP while you have that Nocturne ultimate down. So you can actually create a numbers advantage very quickly. They won't be able to see the Lissandra engage with the claw. So if you are actually coordinated with your team, you cover so much, and that's one of the strongest things that you can do in League of Legends. I mean, brush is so important in our game. If the whole map is brush for a couple seconds, you can utilize that. And I feel like as we see people play Nocturne more and more, we might be seeing some of those clever plays. So there was one in LCK where they masked an Ashe arrow with a Nocturne ulti, and that was really cool to see.
Yeah, it's also really good against teams that have like communication issues, so that they're not quite sure if they're committing and stuff like that. But
so perhaps some innovation coming out of Team Impulse there, however unsuccessful in this matchup. CLG picking up the victory they need to keep themselves at the top of the table, or at least near the top. Keep it tuned right here because Liquid are setting up on stage, and today they fight the new and improved Echo Fox. We'll be right back.
We'll see if it pays off for Team Impulse as they look to climb up into playoff position. Here we go into Game 4. Impulse forced to run. Beautiful stun by Darshan. Gets another kill. And in fact, off the screen, someone else dropped, making this 3-for-0. That is a squishy cow. Huhi goes in. Oh my word, he one-shot mash. Another kill for himself, a 2 for 2, but here comes another tackle. Is that gonna be a third for CLG? Fang flashes, takes the javelin. Smithy takes him down.
Yeah, take it down.
I'm on Lucian.
Yeah.
Illusion.
Come on. I got it, bro. Alright, this guy's gone.
I'll take gameplay. And there's the game, well into 30 minutes. CLG in second place.